let's talk about a segment of reality rarely discussed with genuine depth. We often focus on the dynamics of youth, decoding signals, navigating peak social scenes. But there exists an entire landscape of experience that operates on a completely different frequency. I'm referring to the world of women in their fourth decade and beyond. Attempting to understand them with a handbook written for 20-year-olds is a fundamental error. The mechanisms are not the same. By this stage, a woman isn't just living time, she has integrated it. She is not a blank page, but a volume filled with authored chapters, hard-earned wisdom, and clarified intentions. She navigates from a place of established self-knowledge, not from the exploratory uncertainty of youth. Today, we are dissecting the core drivers of choice for women after 40. We are moving past surface declarations to examine the underlying patterns that genuinely govern decisions. This isn't about judgment, it's about insightful recognition. When you comprehend a person's foundational needs, you gain profound predictive clarity. Before we dive in, if you value content that cuts through the noise, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button right now. It fuels this channel's mission to deliver real insights. The very nature of attraction undergoes a transformation. The engine itself changes. In youth, it's often a blend of biology, social potential, and future projection. By the fourth decade, a tectonic shift occurs. The drivers become more psychological than purely biological, more oriented toward filling specific voids than seeking abstract thrills, more about fortifying a present foundation than building castles in the air. Life accumulates. So do unmet needs, unresolved experiences, and earned fatigue. It is this accumulated deficit that begins to powerfully direct behavior. The central question evolves from who is attractive to what is essential for my wholeness. Based on observable patterns, we can identify several key archetypes. See if you recognize these in your own experiences. Archetype 1, the authenticity seeker. Her confidence was once externally fueled by effortless attention. Now, she seeks validation of her enduring worth, not just of appearance, but of her cultivated mind, taste, and essence. She is drawn to those who reflect back a version of herself that transcends the superficial. Archetype 2, the stability architect. Marked by past emotional turbulence, she prioritizes peace and predictability above intense passion. She confuses profound gratitude for safety with deep love, often moving quickly into commitments that represent shelter. The attachment is to the function of protection. Do these patterns resonate? Comment below with pattern 1 or 2 if you've seen this in action. Sharing this analysis helps others. Share this video right now. Archetype 3, the transformationalist. She lives in a state of perpetual anticipation, believing her real life is just around the corner. Current partners feel like placeholders. She is captivated by novelty and the promise of radical change, making her difficult to retain once the familiar sets in. Archetype 4, the reluctant captain. She never fully built her own autonomous adult infrastructure, transitioning from guardian to guardian. Now alone, she seeks a new handler but resents the dependency it creates. This leads to chaotic cycles between seeking stability and sabotaging it. Archetype 5, the sovereign in armor. She has mastered a world of control, competence, and command. Consciously, she seeks an equal. Subconsciously, she craves the permission to surrender that control. She desires a partner strong enough to lead, yet her ingrained instinct is to challenge any display of authority. Your engagement powers this deep dive. If you're finding value, pause and hit the like button. It tells the algorithm this content matters. Archetype 6, the displaced legacy. She has experienced a tangible decline in social or financial status. She is not merely seeking material comfort, but the restoration of a world and identity she feels is hers by right. She is drawn to symbols of that lost world, making her vulnerable to illusion. Archetype 7, the perpetual motion entity. Her life is a curriculum of workshops, retreats, and new philosophies. Constant motion masquerading as growth. In relationships, she mistakes chaos for depth and stability for stagnation. She is in endless pursuit of a self she believes is found only in the next experience. Archetype 8, the fortified caretaker. Hardened by disappointment into total autonomy, she prides herself on needing no one. She connects through a backdoor, by caretaking, fixing, or guiding partners perceived as weaker. This allows for a form of intimacy where she remains in control, never having to risk true vulnerability. Which archetype is most revealing? Drop a number in the comments. This community insight is invaluable. The unifying thread? Deficit. Each pattern is driven by a core lack of validated worth, of safety, of purpose, of autonomy, of the right to be soft, of a lost identity, of an inner core, of the ability to receive. By this stage in life, these deficits have crystallized. Compensatory behaviors are well rehearsed. Understanding this lack is the master key to understanding actions. What does she speak of with recurring frustration or nostalgia? What absence animates her stories? People orbit their needs without always naming them. This leads to a crucial distinction. Much of what is labeled as love at this stage is, in fact, need. It is a powerful, subconscious deal where a supplier meets a deficit. The connection is real and intense, but it is often unstable. It lasts as long as the need is acute. The healthiest bonds are built on additive desire, not desperate need. Desire creates appreciation, need creates dependency. Final algorithm for the discerning mind. 1. Diagnose the pattern. Listen to the recurring theme in her life narrative, not just her words. 2. Assess your capacity. Can you genuinely address that core deficit? If not, the foundation is fragile. 3. Acknowledge the limitation. Connections born of acute need evolve. Be prepared for that shift. 4. Value self-awareness. The most capable individuals recognize their own patterns. This self-knowledge is the difference between cyclical chaos and sustainable harmony. Ultimately, what a woman after 40 is navigating toward is what she perceives will make her whole. This isn't cynical, it is profoundly human. Operating with this understanding grants you clarity. You can choose to engage with generosity and open eyes, building on a foundation of reality, not fantasy. If this framework changed your perspective, my work here is done. But the conversation isn't over. Comment below with your biggest takeaway. Share this with someone who needs to see it. And subscribe for more content that decodes complexity without compromise.